Okay, guys, we got another quick update on the salmon case here. This time it's relating to John Swinney, the Deputy SNP Pillock, who had been trying to conceal the Scottish Government's legal advice on the salmon disaster. It appears he has now backed down and agreed to provide at least key legal advice that they should have really released anyway. This all stems from the Scottish Tories, Labour, and Lib Dems threatening a vote of no confidence against the SNP minister if he didn't do it. Personally, the fact it took this much effort to get it out says to me these low-life tosspots have been up to no good, but to be honest, I expected that anyway, and so did many of you. Now, he is not completely out of the woods yet because he may try to sneak out bits of the advice, not giving the full legal advice as requested. The Tories have actually since said that if he tries that stunt, they will force him out, so we could well see him gone soon. Followed swiftly by old fish lips and her husband, let me tell ya. If he goes because he's refusing to put this legal advice out there, then it's because it says something that's gonna implicate her. She will be gone quicker than you can say snivelling shitweasel. Well, we can hope at least. But anyway, the Telegraph has picked up on this, so let's take a quick look at that. It headlines John Swinney discloses Alex Salmon's legal advice after caving in over no confidence vote threat. Nicola Sturgeon's deputy is to finally hand over the SNP government's key secret legal advice for Alex Salmon's judicial review, after he faced being forced to resign if he refused. John Swinney caved into opposition demands for the advice to be published after a majority of MSPs swung behind a Tory motion of no confidence in him, which could have actually been voted on this afternoon, which was yesterday, and he may still face one today if he doesn't give the full evidence. In a humiliating about turn, he said he had decided to release the advice to counter the false claims being made by some. He said it would be provided to Parliament immediately after legal notifications are issued to individuals impacted. Mr. Swinney was in danger of losing his job after Miss Sturgeon, who appears tomorrow before the Holyrood inquiry investigating the scandal, recused herself from the legal advice decision. The First Minister did not appear at the Scottish Government's Monday COVID briefing for the first time this year amid claims she was closeted away with her legal team ahead of her appearance, likely getting her story straight. Douglas Ross, the Scottish Tory, welcomed Mr. Swinney's about turn after the Deputy First Minister ignored two previous votes by MSPs for the advice to be given to the inquiry, which they actually have a tweet for here, and it says, "Delighted that the Scots Tories' pressure has forced another SNP U-turn. But we need to hear the details from at John Swinney. Will the legal advice now be published in full?" But he went on here saying, however, he said Mr. Swinney had only acted to save his own skin and warned he must go further and fully publish the legal advice or we will not hesitate to force him out. Like I said, because he's a snivelling shitweasel and he's still trying to get out of it. Hopefully they do get to force him out. At this point, I really hope he tries to hide it because it would prove beyond all doubt that the SNP have been up to no good. Obviously, if they hadn't, they would have just dropped this shit months ago and it would have been all over and done with then. To me, it just seems like it's 99% sure that they've been up to no good and some of the most heinous shit you could probably imagine, especially when you consider you are literally betraying someone who was your friend. Me personally, I don't like Alex Salmond and I don't like Nicola Sturgeon, so I have no part in it. Both of them, in my opinion, should be removed from public life. But at the end of the day, the SNP have used government procedures and its tentacles to take down someone there. If they can do it to their own mate who's a politician, imagine what they can do to the average everyday person. It goes on, the Scottish Government's announcement referred to only key advice, as I had said. Miles Briggs, the Scottish Tories' chief whip, said he would not withdraw the motion until MSPs are given assurances that everything the committee has demanded is handed over. Because obviously they literally want to take down the SNP with this. The Tories need it up in Scotland, let's be honest. But realistically, what really matters is getting to the bottom of this, not only because it's corruption at the very top of Scottish government, but also because it's costing the UK taxpayer a fuck ton of money. Mr. Salmond has alleged that the advice proves SNP ministers continued to fight the judicial review case despite being warned that they were likely to lose at huge cost to the public purse. This is a potential breach of the ministerial code, also a resignation matter. And there it goes on about all of the rest of it, which we've already covered in multiple videos. I'll link them down below, or maybe as cards or something like that. You can go and check them out. This one here is literally about Swinney, the slimy tosspot who's trying to hide the legal advice. Like I said, I hope he only gives parts of it and then they have a vote of no confidence and force him out. That way it will prove to me and anyone with half a brain cell that the SNP have been up to no good. I actually can't wait for Nicola Sturgeon's evidence tomorrow.
We're off!